guys, a year 1827, where a man lived known as James Lewis, who was a great soldier. But in the end, he took a false name and he was out from the soldiers group. Then he started his real work, the adventuring new historic things. So first in 1827, as I told you, in 1827 he goes, after 2 years he goes all around the India and find new things. But then in 1829 in Punjab he found Harappa civilization. He thought it's just a abnormal city which is not which has been end now, but it was not, because he found the great Harappa city, means Mohenjo-daro, the Harappan city. And even he found that there was a river which name he don't know that time. But then to write about that, he started drawing pictures, like you can see here, the pictures of Mohenjo-daro, the pictures of the statues, the great bath. Then after all that in 1920, John Marshall, who was appointed by the historic explainer of ASI, John Marshall, who was from out country, not from the India. Then in 1920, they learned more and more things about this, and even they got to know that it was a type of a kingdom where there are small cities which have been civilized near Indus River, and that's why we call it now Indus Valley Civilization. So now let's start and move ahead. Indus Valley Civilization. So when they were moving ahead, they found a great city with a great bath, drainage system, and many more. That city was looking like a high-tech city, which was that better than our now's the present city, because here there's no drainage system, not perfect, but there all the dustbin, drainage system, even a bath where every time only clean water would be, not any type of we can say bad water or garbage filling up like nowadays. And even, but then you would think, what is this high-tech city name? So this city was known as Mohenjo-daro. Mohenjo-daro means the Mohen of the dead. Yes, the mound of the dead, or the Mohend of the dead. Why they call it like this? For why is the meaning like this? Because when the archaeologists went to find some skulls or some we can say prisons, so that time they got many people body which was at least 500 BC before, which was a very old time. Copper civilization. It was a time of copper civilization, and you would think that how hard they would work to make them. They were so high tech in even copper civilization. And even, do you know, there are even 3 more civilization like this in other countries like China, Mesopotamia, and even more. But do you know that before people say that Mesopotamia is the most oldest city, but it's not, because when archaeologists find that it was at least 4500 BC, past years. That means it was a copper civilization time, and from that day we mean that the Indus Valley civilization is the most oldest civilization in the world. Now let's move ahead to solve the mysteries. Why they died? Why was this evolution end up? There are many theories built, like a man tells that the drainage system, their laziness, would filled in their mind, like whether the great bath, if they do not supply any fresh water. Maybe they would starting throw garbages in that, from which the whole city was dead. That means dead. And if we see, that's a bit correct also, because we found many, we can say many peas. Peas means some knowledge about, we can see that this is correct or this is correct, because you can see here near the bird bath. Now this is a photo of after 4500 BC, in which there is no dustbins or nothing. But in before that, in 4500 BC, there are dustbin drainage systems also. But now, but after 4500 BC, you can see here there is nothing, no dustbins, and garbage are filled here and everywhere. But next says that, but next there is one more theory known as the water laked up. That means the Indus River, maybe they will tell that Indus River maybe flowed up in the city by some functional, we can say functional corpse. That's why the city was end up. But but that looks similar to the movie. Maybe he would that it is a copied version, because it's still in the now time only 2004 2000 something 8 this theory was released. But theories will be built up. But next, can you solve this problem? What is this written? Can you even solve it? That what's this written? That's very hard, because there is something written in another thing. And even we see that the photos, you can see they write from left to right. Yeah, no, not to left to right, right to left. As I write in our Hindi English, we write left to right, but here they write right to left, like Arabic languages. And how, what is the truth, how you find it? So you can see, before, in the starting, it is very small, the words are very small, but then to fix it up, they have made it a bit big. That means, and the example of that meaning, we can say, if you're writing your classwork, so when you write it, you don't get, you fill the full page. Only you need to write 2 words extra, but you don't have the you don't have the place to write it. Then you'll start writing it small. It's very very small, and or else you write it more thin but big. So that was the example, that why the right to left. So that a problem solved, that they write right to left. But have you ever God in this animals? What are these? This looks like an elephant. Okay. This looks like a deer. Okay, but this, is it a goat? Is it a deer with only one horn in her back? What is this? This is still a mystery. And even you can see in every copper tablet, which is 15 centimeter, at least this much, in that every, like we use in English script, Latin script, we use a dot to stop it. Like that only something they use in a shape of a jar. You can see here. And this can mean the friendship of the Methodist and this Indus Valley civilization, because only the difference is that Methodist write this jar word 2 times in the end, but our Indus Valley civilization write it only 1 time. So this was the solving mystery. What is Indus Valley civilization? Who found it and what was it? If I got more information, I'll make this part 2 also for this miraculous world. So if you like my video, subscribe my channel and on the bell icon. Bye bye.